Recently, I did this video about things that statue collectors say that piss me off. And it actually spawned another video right here. This video about things that just piss me off in general, non-collecting related. And as more and more of these things actually pop up, I've been recording them down for you guys. So today's going to be the third installment of things that really piss me off or chap my ass. And I know some of you are probably thinking, this is stupid, why do I have to listen to this? Which brings me to the very first thing. Those people that complain about a YouTube video when, you know what, you could easily just turn it off. I mean, it's just one button, silly. Silly's a polite name for stupid. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Thanks for tuning into the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X. Typically, we are all about extreme collectibles, extreme lifestyle, but every once in a while we do a video like this where we mix it up. So today we're going to talk about things in general that just really piss me off. And again, I encourage you to go back and check the last video right here. Great response from you guys. We're just going to keep this going. I don't know how many episodes there's going to be. And today's kind of all over the place. Like I said, as things pop up in life, I record them down. Some of them are going to be about everyday stuff. A lot of it will be about traveling because I fly about 50 weeks a year. And it's going to be all new things from that last video, which kind of transitions to the first thing. You ever see a video on YouTube or Facebook and it takes them absolutely forever to get to the topic, like I'm doing now? That is the second thing here that pisses me off or chaps my ass. So if you can relate to that, I'm going to jump right in and not delay it anymore. Oh, currently at 9.5 million. Best guess is 10 to 2.5. That's not good. Let's see. All right, first one, and this was actually brought up by somebody on the last video because I asked you guys to comment what chaps your ass, what pisses you off, and someone brought this up, but I'm going to really dive into it. And that is elevators. Why the hell can people in our country not fucking figure out elevators? If you are waiting for an elevator, it's possible there's people getting off. They cannot get off if you're standing right in the way. This just blows my mind. What blows my mind even more is some people are so stupid they don't just stand in the way, but they try and get on before you've gotten off. Another thing that really pisses me off, and this is really prevalent on cruise ships, but you can kind of see it everywhere, because on most cruise ships, the elevator is right next to the stairs. But when people who are perfectly physically capable of going down the stairs take the elevator down. Now, I understand if you're going to go down 10, 13 floors, something like that, but it's unbelievable to me how many people take the elevator down one floor when the stairs are right there, they're not carrying anything, and they're physically perfectly capable of going down the stairs. I used to work at this location that only had 2 floors, and the only way, other than in the back rooms, to get up to the second floor was an elevator. Whenever I was the first one on the elevator, if other people got on, I would always ask them, what floor? You know, you be polite. You ask someone and you push the button for them. Well, if you think about it, it's only 2 stories, so they have to go to number 2. So they would always tell me, you know, second floor, please. And the smart ones, there wasn't too many of them. A few seconds later, they just smile and laugh to themselves. But other people, totally oblivious. All right, totally jumping categories now. Weathermen. I want to be a fucking weatherman or a meteorologist. Not only are they paid well, but they don't have to be accurate. And honestly, they're around some attractive people. It's amazing to me how many times I will see the low temperature for the day, and then the current temperature is colder than that. Am I the only one that sees this? Or you look at the chance of precipitation for the day and it's 0, and it's currently raining or snowing outside. If I was a weatherman, I would say every single day there's a 50% chance of precipitation. It either will or it won't. They might as well, right? They're wrong most of the time. One of my biggest pet peeves, especially being in a leadership position, is having to repeat myself. One of my biggest pet peeves, especially being in a leadership position, is having to repeat myself. You would not believe how many presentations or resources or documents I create for people and I send them out as reference material. And instead of them physically reading that email or that document, they ask the question that's answered in that information. And even if they don't have that, every single person I know has a smartphone. They can look it up on Google pretty quick. So I'm one of those smartasses. When someone asks me a question via email that I've already answered, I will spend 20 minutes trying to find that original email and re-forward it to them with the original time, date, and stamp. Now, I could just reply to their question and it would take 10 seconds, but I would prefer to spend those 10 to 20 minutes to show them they need to pay attention. This is the same with YouTube as well. I actually talked about it in this video I did a long time ago right here. One thing that pisses me off, and it's so common, is people post a question in the comments below when the question is clearly answered in the video, so they didn't watch the entire video or even part of the video that I spent 1 to 2 hours making. All right, gonna jump to grocery stores. So grocery stores created self-checkouts a long time ago, which I think are both a good and a bad thing. I think it's good from a resource standpoint. In a grocery store, they can help control costs. I think it's bad because it eliminates human interaction, which is one of the problems with our society. But I actually enjoy that because I don't really like human interaction. However, the amount of people that use the self-checkout that not only have a cart full, like with 200 items in there, but are just morons and can't figure out how to use this device that's been around for 10 years, just piss the shit out of me. Especially if I have 1 or 2 items, I can literally get in and out in probably 30 seconds. This isn't new technology anymore. If you're that inept, go wait in line for a cashier to do it for you. One of the reasons I dislike human interaction so much is recently I took my boys to San Francisco for a basketball game. I've talked about it in many videos, and it was San Francisco, so there was a lot of protests. There was someone out on the street with a speaker, and I'm not going to say what side of the caveat they fell on, but they were talking about abortion. Abortion is one of the most controversial topics in our country. And I disagreed with some of what this person was saying, but as I sat there and we waited for our lift, I didn't say anything. However, Karen wanted to say something. Karen was in this guy's face, probably about her face was this far from him, screaming at the top of her lungs that this person should die. Because he had a different opinion than her. And there were a few Karens yelling swear words and things of that nature at this person. If you disagree with somebody, move on, especially if it's not something pertinent to your life. That's one of the things that pisses me off the most. And I talk about this in all my old hater comment videos, is somewhere along the lines in society in the past 10 to 20 years, maybe it has to do with social media, we have decided that if we disagree with somebody, we need to attack them personally. That just blows my mind and pisses me off to another level. All right, this is kind of an obvious one, but telemarketers piss me off for so many different reasons. So first of all, I didn't give them permission to bother me. I'm very busy. Can't you see? I'm making a YouTube video right now and you're watching it, so you're obviously busy as well. I didn't give you my phone number. I didn't give you permission to interrupt my work day or my pleasure day or whatever that looks like. And recently, DirecTV actually called me to tell me they were going to give me a free package. We pay an ungodly amount for DirecTV, and I told them, no thank you, I don't want anything else. They kept insisting it's free for 3 months, then we'll start billing you. And I kept telling them no, and eventually they wouldn't take no for an answer, so I told them I have to go, and I hung up on them. Well, they still added it to my account, which I'm pretty sure constitutes some type of fraud. But I love to mess with telemarketers. Whether they're a scammer, one time a warrant was issued for my arrest, and the only way I could save myself is buy a bunch of Target gift cards. So after 45 minutes of speaking to this guy, and I told him I had the Target gift card in hand, he figured it out and he told me where I could shove the Target gift card. Or like when they promised me car insurance, I always tell them I have free car insurance, and they don't even hear that. So they keep telling me they're going to give me a better deal. At the end of that conversation, I say, when am I going to get my check? Here's a tip you guys can do. Whenever they say we're calling people in your area, ask them, what area am I in? They're like, what? I go, you said you're calling people in my area. What area am I in? That kind of blows them away because it's a bullshit line. So I just love to mess with telemarketers because frankly, they piss me off for wasting my time. All right, the last 2 subjects, one's airport related, one's restaurant related. So restaurant related, when someone asks a server, they look at something on the menu. Is this good here? What do you think the server is going to say? No, it's fucking horrible. Our food sucks. I don't see a problem asking the server specific questions on stuff or even asking, hey, would you prefer A or B? I think that's a good way to do it. But don't ask somebody if their product's good. What are they going to say? No, you should go somewhere else? Of course, there are stupid people out there that might do that. All right, back to the airport. So the airport was a big one in the last video because I spent so much time there. And there's quite a few. Number one is people who immediately have to pee once they get on the plane. So the second we get to the altitude where we can actually get out of our seat, and some people can't wait for that, they have to go pee right away. Here's my question for you. why don't you go squeeze it out right before you board? I do that every single time. Even if I pee 20 minutes prior, I go again. So I'm not one of those people. And especially if you're sitting at the window seat and everybody has to move out of the way for you. Pee before you get on the plane. Easy, simple. Now let's flip to getting off the plane. It blows my mind how people can't follow a simple order. The seats in front of you go first. I would say the rare exceptions are if you have to pee like crazy or if you are about to miss a connection. However, I am amazed, especially when I'm with my children, how many people will try and cut us off and push us apart. Now again, like I said, maybe they're rushing to pee or maybe they're rushing for a connection, but most of the time they're not, because then when we get on the jet bridge, they are leisurely walking like there's no tomorrow. Yet they really felt the need to almost physically push my children or try and push me out of the way so they could get off first. I actually got pretty snippy when we went to San Francisco with my kids because somebody separated me and my 10-year-old son. Literally put her arm out. So when we got off the plane, she was leisurely walking like there's no tomorrow. Oh, I said something to her because it was in an airport. I knew she didn't have a firearm on her. Also in an airport, the moving walkways. Why do people stop on them? Do you really need a break? Can you not walk that long? They are meant to get you there faster, not so you can sit there and take a break and especially block people. Moving walkways. Don't stop, keep going. Why is it so hard for people to keep their seatbelt on once we've landed? I mean, seriously, is it pressing on your stomach that bad? So you can loosen it, right? It's amazing to me how so many people have to click it off before they turn off the buckle the seatbelt sign. How impatient are you? Now this brings me to the thing that pisses me off the most, and I'm not exaggerating about this. Every single time it happens. Now, 80 to 90% of the time I fly in first class. And here, it still applies, but it really doesn't bother me. However, when I'm flying in coach, and especially when I'm with my family, so there's 5 of us, the person in front of me will always lean their chair back. Now I know you're thinking, that's not a big deal, Mr. X. Well, when you're 6'3" and your knees are already up against the chair in front of you, and if they lean back, you can't even put down a tray, not to mention your knees are getting crushed, it's a big deal. Now, I agree that's their right, but a few things piss me off about that. One is when they're really short people and they have plenty of room. 2, and this one really pisses me off, when they do it before the flight even takes off. As you guys know, seat backs forward, tray tables up. I had a flight recently, that same flight to San Francisco, the guy instantly put his chair back in front of me, and whenever I'm with my family, it's just the person in front of me, not in front of them. And if I move seats, that person will do it. I swear to God, there's some stigma or magical force at work here. But anyway, on the way to San Francisco, he put it back. Thankfully, the flight attendant walked by and said, hey, for takeoff, you need to put it up. So he did. She went and buckled herself in, and he put it right back again. Who the fuck do you think you are, dude? If you're putting your seat back on a plane, just be cognizant about the people behind you. So much better. So this is the best part of the video for me. Throw down in the comments things that piss you off or chap your ass in everyday life. And make sure to read everyone else's comments. That's my favorite part of the video. Plus, that enters you into the giveaway. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Thank you if you watched. It's a totally different video. I really appreciate it. Please drop a like so this can get more exposure. And if you haven't subscribed, you like this type of stuff or collectibles, hit that subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.